snowfall is forecasted to hit the Twin Cities, but right now, calm outside, and of course, a calm day inside U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. It can certainly get loud inside this building, and just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with the Chicago Bears. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Play action. It's Jackson. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And this one is incomplete. So, Charles, offensively, this group really playing at a high level, 7-0. And we're still a long ways from discussing a potential unbeaten season, I think. But to use a golf expression, no blemishes on the card, at least to this point.
Yeah, unlike my teenage years where there were blemishes everywhere and the dermatologist was on speed dial. But I do think that they're going to have to start answering questions about this start if they keep winning games. You and I both know, we in the media will start to obsess about it and wonder, can they take it all the way to an undefeated season?
He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Jackson looking to throw on 3rd. Just keeping the play alive. Now he'll let it go deep left side. Oh, wide open, complete. Pushing his way through. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The former 2nd-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. This defense for the Vikings, they were excellent in that win over the 49ers last week.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. And DeForest Buckner using those big hands and getting in there and bringing him down for this sack. So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise there in the dive. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. This goes out wide from Mixon. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. It's a gain of 9, but it's also going to mean a punt here on their opening drive.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
It'll be a 44-yard punt, 6 on the return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And, you know, it's certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Miles Jack charging hard from that linebacker spot, and he drops him for a loss of 11. Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. From the gun, Jackson. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And that last throw is going to keep him climbing that all-time passing yards leaderboard as he crosses the 25,000-yard mark now for his career.
He just recently passed Bart Starr. Next up for him, Bob Greasy. That's 2 Hall of Famers, 2 Super Bowl winners, multiple Super Bowl winners. So he's getting up with the legends now. Congratulations.
Because his primary job is defending against the pass, you don't often see a cornerback making tackles in the backfield. But he's playing run all the way here.
They go play action with Jackson. Here's Fuller with a catch. Yeah, he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Vikings have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. Koo able to connect on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. 3-5 is where they sit on the year. A very uneven start is certainly not an ideal position to be in at the halfway point of the season. CD, do you see an avenue where they can still be a playoff team, or is that ship sailed?
Well, since you took me to the nautical side, I'm going to try and keep up here because to me, this ship is about ready to pull out of port. These next couple of games are absolute must-wins for them. Now, if they can win a couple, get to 5-5, maybe they start believing in themselves. But a loss here, that would move them to 3-6. And if that's the case, well, that boat is going to head out to the harbor with them still on the dock. You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They've needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they need.
This is intercepted. Picked off down at the 2. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return. So first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage.
Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet, and this is picked up by the Bears. And they bring this one back. A fumble return for a Bears touchdown. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. And the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A big play that time on the catch and run.
That turns into a very well-orchestrated play right there. Going to work his way out of the backfield to the right, and after he looked it in, he found plenty of space to roam and picked up big yardage.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Here's Jackson. Open man, it's the tight end, Kelsey. And he is out of bounds inside the 35.
But I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Meanwhile, Jackson's throw here complete to Kelsey. 7 yards to pick up there.
That's the end of the first quarter with the score Vikings 14, Bears nothing.
Working with a 2nd and 3. From the gun, it's Jackson. Steps away to his left. And did he get the feet down? No, they'll say he did not. It's incomplete.
He certainly had a good game throwing the ball so far, but I think he was trying to take that from good to great with that throw.
Plenty of shouts from this crowd as they watch the replay. They want a challenge, and they're going to get one. And we'll get a moment here as they look this one over.
Yeah, remember now, the call on the field is what they'll stick with unless they have clear video evidence to the contrary. And I give these officials a lot of credit. Such a tough and demanding job. You and I both know that. Yeah, they make the right call way more often than they get it wrong. Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And it's now 21-0. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off.
The 25-yard line. The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they're in an early hole. First drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They go play action with Burrow. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. DeForest Buckner picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And the Vikings are going to beef up their secondary here. 6 DBs on 3rd. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked up by Kelvin Joseph. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Jackson. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line.
That is definitely what we call on defense an uh-oh play. And what you mean by that is against Lamar Jackson, when you see him out of the pocket, your first thought is, uh-oh, he's going to try and run it. How do I get to him and get him on the ground? And guess what? That didn't happen, and his receivers took advantage.
Hard running at the 15. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
On 2nd and 1, Jackson. It's Kelsey on the ground.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Vikings are able to add on to their first-half lead. Koo able to connect on the extra point. And a rout is on here in this first half. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Pollard elects to keep it, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And, Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
On first down, Mixon, and they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
2nd and 10. And now they will throw it with Burrow. And his throw here is incomplete.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big 3rd down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
The Bears on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Burrow looking to pass. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Isaiah Simmons able to record his 5th sack of the season.
He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
Yeah, now they're just looking to add to that total. Now it's Jackson. And he finds a man with a crossing route. Touchdown, Vikings! A big play there. 89 yards. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And that will extend this big lead.
35. Bears nothing.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. This one will come out to the 25 as Pollard is going to elect not to return it.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Burrow will throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Mike Edwards picks it off. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
And that now 2 interceptions thrown in the 2nd quarter.
And you know, a lot of people look at these guys and they think to themselves that maybe, possibly, they're still thinking about the first one. And they probably are. I think in this case, he's just trying to atone for the first interception. Tried a little bit too hard, maybe forced it a bit, and instead created a second one.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, and tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there. On his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Vikings have taken a 6-touchdown lead. Koo able to connect on the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Pollard elects to keep it, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And in a spot like this, still more than a minute, I think if you put something on the board before halftime, that would go a long way towards helping them get back into the game.
There actually is something to the psychology of the game at times, isn't there? How much better would they feel running into the locker room, as you noted, with something on the board in a positive fashion? You're exactly right. It's a great opportunity to get that done.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. Running right through him. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. And they go play action now. Burrow. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th. Here's Johnny Hecker now as he's on to punt for Chicago. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he's going to lose yardage. Not that it matters as the final seconds tick away. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Here's Koo to kick it off. This one will come out to the 25 as Pollard is going to elect not to return it. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. And they come with a jet sweep here as Burrow just taps that forward. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Here's Burrow. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Now Burrow. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. DeForest Buckner able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. A nice return that time of about 14 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. 51 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. And he'll give it here to his running back. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42.
that 2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I'll bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. They go play action now. Jackson. Open man here. It's the tight end, Kelsey. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 16.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big 3rd quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion. That's a double win there, partner. You keep out of the return man's hands, and you pin them inside the 5-yard line. Pretty darn good.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a 1-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
On 2nd and a yard. Burrow eluding the pressure right. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a 2nd interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
And Burrow going to be hit and taken down. They got him. Isaiah Simmons in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Behind the chain, 2nd and 12. It's Mixon on the counter, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 3rd down, now even tougher. 3rd and 13 after that loss of a yard.
I think it might be time to move to a different section of the playbook there, because back-to-back runs, both for loss. Now they have 3rd and long coming up.
So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. Now it's Burrow. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 36. And right about now, you start to think, and maybe they're starting to think, gosh, maybe points aren't going to happen for us in this game.
Well, it's a thought that is worth having, because so far in this game, this defense has not just had the upper hand. They've appeared to be a step ahead, maybe even 2 steps, to everything they've done. They've had an answer for everything this offense has thrown at them.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run. But the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Coming up on a 2nd and 6. Now a handoff looking right. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play. A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
They run the counter now on first down. Tanner Muse there defensively.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
And now what the heck is this? A punt formation from the red zone? Oh, it's a wobbler here.
The Bears take over first and 10 at their own 6-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Once again, they run with Mixon. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9. Shotgun, it's Burrow. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over it.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. 44-yard punt. They're going to wind up losing yardage on the return, though. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
so well,
and maybe try and find one of those special plays for one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether he's running it, in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the way that they get attacked on each and every play.
Yeah, we had the fumble last week. Now here's 2 weeks in a row with a fumble loss.
Concentration has got to be there, and he's got to understand how much time he has to take care of a play, and maybe his clock is off just a little bit.
The decision is to decline it and not give him the down back.
They might as well have sent a skywriter above the stadium saying, we don't think you can get the first down against our defense by that decision.
Burrow going to fake to mix it and now look to throw. They'll roll him out right. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1. Now it's Mixon running right. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Here we go. It's Burrow on 4th down. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bears are finally on the board here in the fourth quarter. And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Boswell good with the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. The game certainly.
Remote's clicking off right now. Some room at midfield. Touchdown, Vikings! For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards and just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And the final clocking on the next-gen stats there. How about this? 22.1 miles per hour. Wow. Pollard elects to keep it, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And just looking ahead, it would appear that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one. They'll probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish. Tackled by Isaiah Simmons.
Nice satisfying run on first down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
Yeah, he's just throwing the ball up for grabs now. Fortunately, that one going to fall incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Here's Johnny Hacker now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Taken in at the 22. 45 yards, that's what the punt goes for. 5 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number one for what we've seen this season.
The Vikings on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 4. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 30. A big play there on the catch and run. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. And they take a knee. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee. Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. And now they're not going to get the kickoff in time. And that will make this a more difficult prospect. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They'll try and run for it. Finding room to the 20. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing